everyone, Miss Carrie here with an outdoor layout that I created using florals and pastel patterns. In today's video, I'm going to share how I was able to give the pastel colors on my page a outdoorsy feel with some neutral mixed media elements and textile pieces. I can't wait to share this project with you. On my desk, I have the new May Wildflowers kit from HipKit Club. This main kit has some bright colors and patterns with a mix of florals and prints. In the kit, there are some silver glitter titles, foam stickers, puffy shapes, mixed die cuts with foil, and these little felt clouds. I'm going to bring in a few items from the color kit, along with additional items from the HipKit site. In the description below, there will be a list of the supplies I'm using today, along with a link to the kit. I'm going to be creating a mixed media background today, so I'm starting out with a piece of white cardstock to which I've added a layer of gesso to. I'm going to place a few pattern paper layers in the center of this page. The notebook and scallop borders were cut using one of the HipKit cut files. I used the Combine tool in Cricut Design Space and welded these two square shapes to make them into larger pieces. I'll be sharing a live tutorial in my Facebook group today showing how to make these border pieces. In the description below is a link to that group. I want to use this wild and free title and give this page a more outdoorsy feel, which can be difficult to do with bright pastel colors. To soften these a bit and bring a rustic piece to the page, I'm going to add some neutral colors to my background. Behind all the elements, I'm going to add a soft suede color of Shimmer's paints. This is a color that I own in my collection, and I have spritzed a little bit of it onto my glass board and mixed it with some water. I'm using a brush to apply this ink to a piece of acetate, then I'll press this down onto the cardstock. I'm aiming for an outdoorsy feel in my design, and the addition of this warm neutral will alter the look of the pastel colors in the pattern paper. This brown hue has an earthy feel to it that will stabilize the pinks, giving them less of a childlike feel. Over the top of the suede color, I'm going to bring in some green florals. This HipKit stencil from the May Color Kit has some simple floral designs with butterflies. I only want to use the floral pieces, so I've masked off the butterflies and secured the stencil in place with a few magnets. I'm using sage ink to add a few of these florals onto each side. Green is a wonderful complementary color to pink. On the color wheel, red and green are opposite of each other, making them complementary colors. Pink is basically a lighter version of red, which is one of the reasons I selected the softer hue of green instead of a brighter one. This color and floral pattern is also going to add to the outdoor feel of the page. The stems are just going to peek out along the sides and create a lovely frame around the photo. The last addition to this mixed media background is a stamped image. I love using text on my backgrounds, and this newsprint stamp has such an awesome design. Instead of stamping the black ink in full strength, I'm using what is called the second generation method. After inking up the stamp, I remove some of the ink on a scrap piece of paper, then stamp the image onto the page. This creates a softer, distressed looking image. Alright, now that the mixed media background is complete, it's time to bring those fun pattern pieces back to the design. To add some more neutral colors to this layout, I'm going to wrap brown twine around my yellow border. I always enjoy adding textile texture to my pages with thread, twine, or ribbon. This little striped border has already been stitched in place, and the twine is going to give me another great texture on the layout. I used a die to cut a tag from the berry cardstock, and this is going to be used as my photo background. This sweet girl has some beautiful red hair, and I'm able to bring that into focus with the pink color. The collection I'm working with is called Wildflower, and my page will be titled Wild and Free. To stay in line with that theme, I'm going to incorporate some wildflowers onto the page. I'm using arrow-shaped chipboard stickers and placing 3 of them on the left side of the layout, pointing towards the photo. At this point, I have quite a bit of color on this page, and I need to bring in some more of the darker green. I'm going to add a tab at the top of the layout with the words Fun Here. This stamp set is the May PL collection, and it has some great icons and phrases for your pages. The left side of the page is almost complete. There is quite a bit of weight over there, so I need to balance it out with some items around the photo. I have already added some stitching around the sides of the tag to emphasize the frame, and now I'm going to cut apart this chipboard piece and place it above and below my picture. Now that I have the frame in place, you can see that it helps that photo stand out on the page even more. I want to bring in a few more floral elements, so I'm going to tuck in some printed die cuts and wood florals. The combination of these 2 items adds to the outdoor feel of the page. I'm going to add clusters opposite of each other to help frame the photo and create a nice visual triangle on my page. Below the photo, I'm adding a 3-dimensional sticker phrase that says, "What an amazing life." Now I have to say, this month's HipKit embellishment kit knocked it out of the park with these 3-dimensional stickers and wood florals. These are all a must-have in my book. Now that the embellishments are in place, I'm going to add the title on the left side of the page. I chose the words Wild and Free. I like how that gray-black color is a match to the gray wood I have in the photo. As I'm adding the title, that little tab on top of the tag is bothering me. So I'm going to go off camera and change it to something different, and then I will share the completed layout with you. Right away, I knew that the bright green at the top of the tag was the wrong color of green. So I brought in a black and white tab and cut out a darker green circle. I topped this with a tan ribbon to bring in another neutral element. The title on the left is a very large gray-black piece, so I decided to balance out that color on the right side with an epoxy button. Around this, I added a few yellow puffy heart stickers to bring some more yellow to my layout. The last little element I added was a green sticker near the phrase here. This finished off my visual triangle of solid green. I'm going to share a few close-ups of this layout so that you can see all the lovely details. Today's techniques included a few ways that you can use a combination of items from the May HipKit to create a mixed media layout with an outdoor feel. The wildflower stenciling was a beautiful addition to this page and created a lovely backdrop for my photo. As I created this layout, I shared a few ways that you can combine pastel hues with neutrals to create a more sophisticated outdoor feel on your pages. I hope that today's project inspired you to try something new and give a few of these techniques a try. If you are one who likes to pin photos to inspiration boards, I have added still shots of this layout in the HipKit Club Facebook group and on my website for you to use. Thank you again for joining me for another scrapbook project. If you would like to see more of my creations, you can visit my channel or follow Miss Carrie's Creations online. If you have any questions about this project or the supplies listed below, feel free to leave me a comment. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.